Hi everyone, it's Tawney. Today's video is one that I'm really excited to film. I feel that way about most of my videos, if not all of them. So I I was very excited to make this video because I was super excited when this came out. So disclaimer first. So I am like the biggest Powerpuff Girl fan. Like I love Powerpuff Girls so much. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan, like not number one. But I have been obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls since like birth. Since as long as I can remember, I have been a Powerpuff Girl fan. I've had birthday cakes with Powerpuff Girls. My dad made me Powerpuff Girl cutouts for a birthday party one time. I believe we still have Buttercup in the attic at home, and I will never get rid of it. I have Powerpuff Girl t-shirts. I've had wrapping paper, bedding, sweatshirts, makeup, you name it. I have it. Like, I have so much stuff from the Powerpuff Girls, you would not believe. Like, you would know that, like, yes, I love the Powerpuff Girls. So when this collection came out, I was like, I have to buy it. Now, I want to say I'm not the biggest fan of Makeup Revolution, Xxrevolution, XXX Revolution, I don't know, whatever they're called, or any of the, like, umbrella brands under Revolution. I just think sometimes the quality's a little iffy, especially in eyeshadow palettes. But when I saw this come out, I was just like, I really want to try it. So we're trying it. So I have picked up a couple things from the collection. Actually, I convinced my boyfriend to buy them for me because he wanted to get me something for Easter. So I was like, well, hey, can you buy this for me? Because I really want it. And he's like, okay. Now, I didn't buy everything from the collection because I learned when I bought the ColourPop Powerpuff Girl collection, like, I got the bundle of every single item. It was like over $100. And I think it retailed for more, but like in the bundle, it cost about that much. I found that I didn't like half the items in the collection. There were some lip products, a bath bomb, some roller lip gloss thingies, and I just like never used them, didn't really care for them, didn't need them. And this palette had stuff similar to that. I believe it had a primer that I was like looking at, but not really like, I was like, I probably don't need this. So I kind of steered clear of anything that I didn't think would be interesting to me. And I picked up something I'm actually surprised that I wanted because it's not like me at all. So first off, I picked up the Powerpuff Girls and Xxrevolution main palette. So it has the three girls on the front. I really like the packaging that they used on all the palettes. I think this is the only one that I didn't take out of the box, but I really like that most, if not all, of the package of the I guess the makeup's packaging itself, like what the actual product looks similar to the packaging. Like this is like identical because I hate whenever I buy makeup from collections like this and the boxes are super cute, but then the palettes are just like they're not even half as good. So then I'm stuck keeping a bunch of cardboard that I'm not logistically and realistically going to be using, but I'm keeping it. But then it's like, why, you know? So I'm kind of like really appreciative that like now I don't have to keep the boxes. So far I am, but we'll see if I actually like decide that I want to. But this is what it looks like on the actual packaging. And then inside it says the day is saved up top with the little hearts in the background. So then it has the different colors and shades in the palette. You have the bubble side, the blossom side, and the buttercup side. And I like that the colors are very true to the Powerpuff Girls. It almost seems like something similar to if they were to look at the girls, just a picture of them and be like, okay, Blossom is wearing red, pink, and orange. So we're going to make her colors red, pink, and orange. I mean, it seems a little bit lazy, but I also appreciate that they kept it somewhat true and they didn't try and like put too many different colors into it because then at that point it'd just be like, it's not necessary. And I like it that you could look at it and know which one is which. You know what I mean? Like to me, that just like, I appreciate that. Then I picked up two of these smaller palettes. I feel bad because I didn't pick up Bubbles. I'm going to get them mixed up because they're all B's. I didn't pick up Bubbles just because it was mainly blues. And if you know me, I don't really do blues that often. I mean, I've been doing it a lot on my YouTube channel here, but realistically, I don't do blue a whole lot because it doesn't look good on me and I just can't seem to make it work. So I steered clear of that, but I'm still kind of like bummed that I didn't. So I think if I do see it on sale somewhere, I might pick it up. So we have the Buttercup palette and it has the little insert here and then it has the different shades. It has 6 different shades with the embossing and all the matte shades. And I really like how there's a big diverse selection of the shades, so you could do a couple different looks with just 6 shades. So I think that's really nice. Then the Blossom palette has her indent in all of the matte shades. And at first I thought it was a bunny, because to me it looks like a bunny, and I got it at Easter time. So I was really excited. But then I was like, oh, that's her head and her bow. And I was like, well, that's still good. You know, we'll take it. Like, I like it. I feel like it's going to be one of those things that, like, once you swatch it, it's going to, like, not, it's going to disappear. But I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm still a little sad about it, but I'm okay with it. And then I also picked up I think it's the Graphic Artist palette, and it has 6 different eyeliner shades that you can do a graphic eyeliner with. And it also comes with this really nice brush. Let me take the top off. It comes with this really nice brush that is a really sharp point, so it makes it really easy for you to, like, create a really nice wing eyeliner with it. And I only bought this, well, put it in my boyfriend's cart for him, but I only picked this out because I've been wanting to have shades to do an eyeliner or to do any kind of, like, graphic design on my eye, and I thought, what a better way to do it than with this collection, because then it's actually Powerpuff Girls. I don't know how good the quality is going to be, though. That's the only thing that kind of, like, worries me, but I figured I'd try it out, and I really appreciate that they put the brush in there, because I don't have these types of brushes on hand, so it's nice that they're, like, helping provide that for me, so it, like, kind of takes away that, like, I might not be able to use it if I didn't have those brushes, kind of a thing. So I'm not going to be using those in this video today, just because I don't know how to use them. I'm going to save that for a special video, but we are going to be testing out the 3 different palettes, and I think I'm going to go between all 3 of them and just kind of create a look on my eye, and I will bring you guys along with the ride and talk about kind of, you know, how good the palettes look on the eye. And I might swatch some, I probably won't, but you never know. And just kind of, like, discuss my thoughts, and then we'll wrap things up at the end. Okay, first up, I am going to take, let's see what shades we have. I'm going to take this orange shade down here in the bottom and use that in my crease. I think I'm going to go for a more orangey pink look, just because I like orange and pink, and I think it'll look really nice using some of the, like, nice shimmers. I think they're all just shimmers in this collection. So far, it's applying super, super nicely. There's lots and lots of pigment, which I really appreciate. I feel like I'd honestly rather have more than not enough, because if there weren't enough, then I'd be like, okay, where's the color at? Why isn't it showing up on my eye? Why is it not working? And I think that's something important for brands to keep in mind when giving out, like, well, putting out different makeup collections, products, what have you, is that if you use something that has less pigment in it, people are going to think that they don't have the ability to use the product, and they'll think that it's their skills, techniques, whatever, that's preventing this product from working on them, where it's actually the, like, product itself that's causing the issue for that person. I had a hard time remembering that when I was younger, and, like, telling myself, it's not you, it's the product, it just sucks. Because I'm a drugstore person, and I'm not saying always, but sometimes drugstore products are not the best, and it's really easy to find a terrible product just because it looks really pretty or you think it's really nice. So that's why I was a little hesitant about this collection, just because, like, I'm not totally sure how good the quality would be, because I've tried Xxrevolution palettes before and not been a fan. So I was a little worried, but I'm actually liking it just on that initial, like, shade right now. Now I'm going to go in with this shade up at the top, and if you notice, there is a little bit of kickback when you dig into it, and I don't really dig into palettes super heavy because I like to keep them for, like, ever. I have some palettes that I probably shouldn't have. Okay, if you notice, that's, like, super bright pink, and it doesn't look that bright in the palette, but I don't mind it because I'm just going to blend it out. I'm going to blend it into that orange, and we're just going to create, like, a salmon-y shade. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And it's not patchy or anything. I thought it was, but, like, honestly, it's, like, applying really nicely. Like, it's almost one of the best palettes I've used in a long time. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I typically try and buy, I'm going to keep trying. I like wanting to put my brush down. Like, no, keep putting your makeup on and talk while you do your makeup. I like to buy products that I know are going to be good, so I'm not wasting my money because A, I am, super broke, and I can't always like spare a whole bunch of money on like trial products. So it's really nice whenever I can like try a product and it works, because then it's like, phew, then I didn't have to worry about like wasting my money. But this works like almost as good as like most of my other palettes, so that's kind of nice. I'm not saying that all of Xxrevolution, Makeup Revolution, what have you, would work the same way and it would be the same situation, but I think it's worth noting that like this is working out really well for me, and I'm like really glad for that. Like, I'm really happy. Okay, I'm really liking the way it's blending out a lot. Like, you don't need much because it blends so much. Like, I don't feel like I've put too much on, and I just feel like the color keeps, like I'm able to stretch it, which is really nice. Like, I like products that are like that, but it's almost intimidating because then it's like, ooh, it's not blending down into nothing like I thought it would. I think it's just trial and error. Let me actually see. It says it's an eyeshadow palette, not a pressed pigment. Oh, they are pressed pigments. It says with an asterisk pressed pigment. This one is all pressed pigments. And let's see with this palette. This one does not say it is pressed pigment. It says it lasts for a year. I'm quite bummed about that, if I'm going to be honest. So it looks like these two are pressed pigments, which do apply differently from what I've heard than regular eyeshadows, but I heard that they're harder to work with, so I'm kind of surprised. But I think that's sort of what Makeup Revolution does, is give you pressed pigments over eyeshadows, because I watched a video of Sophie Does Nails, if you know her from YouTube, and she did a palette, like she talked about a palette from Makeup Revolution, and it did this sort of like, it was a pressed pigment. I believe it was the first Friends collection that came out. She did one, and she was like, it doesn't blend really well, but then they're pressed pigments, so maybe if you like use them differently. And I was like, I'm just gonna steer clear of that because I just want to be able to use an eyeshadow palette, not have problems. But so I'm going to go in to the actual big palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's a really nice light sort of apricot shade, and I always tap off my brush on the side of my desk here just so I'm not applying too much product onto my eye. And I think this one will be applying differently, considering that it is a regular eyeshadow palette and not the pressed pigment palette like the first one. But I need to do more research to see how that actually works, and how like a pressed pigment is like, how it acts different than regular eyeshadow, because I'm not actually sure how that works. I'm just taking this shade all over my lid and just trying to like shorten out some of this color that's kind of blended down onto my lid past my crease. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do next? I don't want to use brown, but I feel like I want to use brown. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to use this light lavender shade from the Bubble side, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid and just kind of like pack it down and build it up. This one's definitely harder to work with than the pressed pigment palette. I noticed that like I have to go in a little bit harder, pack on a little bit more, and I know I am using lighter shades, but like I just want that to be noted. From just using these first two shades, I do have to go in a good bit to try and get any color to come up. Like, if you notice, you can't really see much on my lids. And I know this color kind of like blends in, but it almost doesn't look like I'm wearing anything, like I have anything on the lid here. So I don't know. We're gonna keep going though. We're gonna fight through. I kind of like some of these. Okay, I'm gonna use this bright pink magenta shade. It's in one of the bigger rectangles on the Powerpuff Girl shadow palette. And I'm going to put that in my outer corner. Yeah, this is blending differently than the pressed pigment palettes. And I did not know there were pressed pigment, obviously, until I'm like sitting right here doing this video. They definitely blend out. I'm going to put this on without tapping my brush off, and you can definitely see there's more product. But I'm worried that like if I start blending, it's going to like disappear. It didn't do too bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Looking for a mirror that I can like zoom in with. It's a little patchy, but it's not horrible. And I really like the way that pink looks, so I just put it underneath my eye. I just took whatever was left on the brush and carried it down. If you don't know, I have hooded eyes, so I really have to like stretch out my eye and then go above where my eye sits, because when I do this, you can't see like anything. I do have to say a good bit of color does come back on the brush, like it stays on the brush. So that's kind of nice that like I was able to keep dragging after I had like blended. So then that way I didn't have to like go back into the product. But I will say they don't apply quite as nicely as the pressed pigments, and I'm kind of bummed about that. Let's see what we can do with the Buttercup palette. There's a nice white in here. I think I'm going to take that and put it on the inner corner. Yeah, I really like the way that's a really nice white. Like, I could see myself reaching for this even with using a different palette. Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to use that white from the Powerpuff Girl palette. It doesn't look too bad. I like it. I really like it on the inner corner. The brow bone is... I'm a little iffy about brow bone highlight. Like, I like the concept, but I just feel like with my eyes, there's no need for the brow bone highlight because I have to stretch my whole eyeshadow up. So why put the highlight? I'm just going to restrict the area that I actually have for my eyeshadow. There's a train interrupting me outside. I don't know what direction to go in next. Let's see. Okay, we use that palette. Oh, okay. And this one says watch out, and the other one says girls rock. Yeah, on the inside of them. I'm not quite sure what the bubbles one says, but because I don't have it. I don't know if those are sayings from the new Powerpuff Girl collection or if they're like, because I'm an OG Powerpuff Girl fan. I think that should be noted. I like the Powerpuff Girls from like the 90s, early 2000s. Those are my Powerpuff Girls. The new Powerpuff Girls, which is what these are from, I'm not so big a fan of. They're like boy crazy and they go to concerts, and I'm just like, they're supposed to be in kindergarten being mean to a kid named Butch who tortures their pet hamster and fighting crime against monkeys with hats on. Like, I mean, I'm just... And Mojo was my dad's favorite. So, like, Mojo always has, like, a, you know, special little place in my heart. I think he had a palette, but it was a face palette. And I almost bought it, like, just for him. But then I was just like, I don't know. I don't think I'd use it. But I'm just like, oh, like, I kind of want it. Okay, before we start crying, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to swatch these to see what we want to do. Oh yeah, this swatch is different than a regular eyeshadow. This is the bright pink glitter shimmer shade from the Buttercup palette. And then with my other finger, a different finger, I'm going in with one from the big palette, and you can already see the difference. They're not the same. They look similar, but this one definitely does look lighter, and it swatches different. Oh, that's not good. Like, look at the swatches. Oh no, I just had a thought. Oh my gosh, pressed pigment is probably going to stain my eyes. And I just put bright pink and orange all over my eye. Oh my gosh. Okay, my eye was like tearing up major. Okay, I'm gonna go back in and scrub at it. And I don't like that it looks like it's getting hard pan. That is not good. And I'm only swatching it. Okay, this is when it looks like build up. It looks a little better, but I'm not thrilled. There's another shade that looks really similar to this one. It's chunky. Look, it's chunky. You can see the difference. Oh yeah, look at how flaky this is. Ew. Okay, I really want you to see, like, look. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this one even though it's chunky AF. Okay, now I have pink all over my hands. Oh my god, this is my finger. Has a realization in the middle of her video, goes and cries her makeup off later. The makeup that will come off. No, just kidding. But stressing out. Look at my finger. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna use that chunky shade because I kind of just wanna use it. I'm gonna just go in with my finger, honestly, because that's the best way to apply. And I'm kind of patting it so that way I can get like the chunkiness off. So it's just the shade and not the chunk. And I'm just gonna put this on my inner corner and blend it out toward the outer corner of my eye. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. It almost has like a shift to it that like whenever I look up, I'm getting this like bright white. And then whenever I look down, it's like not. That's kind of cool. Like it's almost like a glaze. I really like that. It feels sort of wet almost, but not like a cream product. So I'm not sure what that's about, but it's kind of cool. And I'm not mad at it. I don't mind it. I feel like I need to brighten up my under eye though. I feel like my under eye is looking a little bit not as bright. We're gonna get out of the Blossom palette now that I had that revelation and I'm freaking out. So I'm gonna take a darker mauve shade and I'm going to put that under my eyelid, just kind of, or yeah, under my bottom lash line and kind of just blend it into that earlier pink shade so it's a little bit brighter. Yeah, I like the way that looks better. Okay, how do we feel? How do we feel? Okay, we also have shade. There is what looks like a glitter in this palette. I'm going to look on the back and see what it says. No. It just says shadow palette. Because there's a shade in here. I want to point it out. This shade right here looks like a glitter. Like, I don't know if you can tell. It, like, just the look of it looks different. As well as this yellow triangle right there. Looks like it could be, like, glitter. Although I accidentally swatched that. And it looks more like a shimmer. It looks actually pretty. So let me finish up my makeup. And I will be back. And we will finish up with our final thoughts. Okay, so this is the finished look. Final thoughts. So let's start off. The Blossom palette was great. I really liked all of the shades inside. I thought that they applied really nicely. We'll see how we feel whenever we take the makeup off tonight, if it actually comes off or not, or if I have red eyes tomorrow. But I really like how they blended, how well they applied. I just thought they were like really nice almost buttery in a sense, and I just really like the formula on this. The Buttercup palette, while I only used one shade, I really did like it. I used this shade down here in the corner. I thought it packed a really nice punch on my inner corner and my brow bone. And I think it adds a really nice highlight that I can see myself using a lot more. And I really like that they put in this black matte shade because I feel like I can then use this with other palettes and, you know, do other looks with this as well. And for the big palette, I'm a little on the fence about this. So on first glance, I really like the way the shades apply. I applied most of the ones from this one, but some from this side, and I didn't really get over here, but I can film another video if you guys would like of using this or some of these blues over here just to see how well they blend, because blues and purples tend to be the harder shades to actually formulate. So I really liked how some of the shades blended. I thought that they were light, but I felt like I could work with them. It was just requiring a little bit of buildup, which I'm not quite a big fan of because you have to use more product, but technically it's not the worst thing. The glitters, or well, the shimmers that I used in the palette that you can see on my hand, they are these two here. I just thought that they took a lot of building up, and I wasn't quite a fan about the buildup process and how long it took, considering I compared it with the pressed pigment in the Blossom palette, but I'm willing to keep giving it more of a shot and keep working with it. I think as long as the mattes work okay, and I did use a couple and I think they were all right, I think I'll keep using this palette and keep trying to make make looks with it, trying to make it work. I can see some of these browns might work, at least I'm hoping, and I can see myself using them. So I'm going to try and create looks with the browns to see how well I can do something with that. And I really do like a lot of the purples in here, but I was just really disappointed by this initial use of the lavender shade because I just didn't feel like it did anything to my eyes. And like, I really tried to dig into it, pack it on, and it just didn't seem like it wanted to do anything. And I don't know if it was my eyes, my primers, the pressed pigment that was around it, the brush, what have you, but it just really didn't seem like it wanted to work too well. I still like this palette, and I would say if you want to try it, then like go for it. But if you're hesitant, I would just advise not to, and to go with the pressed pigment palettes that are a little bit cheaper and a little bit like less. I know this was about $25, and then the 6-pan ones were a little bit cheaper. I believe all of these, along with the eyeliner palette, came to a total of like $62, $63, which I don't think is terrible, but it is kind of pricey considering you're buying from a drugstore brand, from a brand that puts out products like a fast fashion clothing store. Their palettes aren't always the best. The products are kind of like chintzy, gimmicky, a little bit cheaper quality. I think the price is a little expensive for that, but if you're interested, definitely check it out. It was kind of a nice collection, and I really did like all of the packaging. I really have to say, like, I give it a 10 out of 10. I just wish it would have been the OG Powerpuff Girls and not the new one, but that's just my personal bias, and I will forever feel that way. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. I was really looking forward to it because, again, I love the Powerpuff Girls. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell down below so you get notified on when I upload my next video. Stay tuned for that one, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.